Welcome to Caching Waves. This is an Elliott Wave update for FLR. I'm going to get into my daily counts as well as my micro count based off this previous low and where I expect us to go from here. I just want to discuss real quick out on the daily what I think has happened since the release of FLR. What I believe is that we have done nothing but make a correction. This is called a flat. Technically, this one's called a running flat. A running flat is where our B wave makes higher price action than our previous high, and then we make our C wave to the downside a equal length to this A wave, but we do not make a lower low below the A wave. So the start of our trend is here in this scenario. What that looks like idealized in Elliott wave form is as such: a 3-wave, 3-wave, 5-wave down. In the running flat scenario, the B wave is higher and we protect the A. Now, I've made videos over this for months and months and warned against this move if you watched previously. And I can count this as a 3-wave move or a 5-wave move. This move to the downside as either a WXYXZ, if this is our low we're counting off of, or a ending diagonal without a wave 4 and 1 overlap. Both are valid. So my bias is that this is an ABC and we're starting our count from here, so we will not be using these extension targets for our targets in the future. It's all based on what happened previous since this low. Now my alternative counts out on the daily is that this is either going to end up being a large correction, where this is our WXY, in which case we bottomed over here. We'd only be targeting a 1-to-1 extension at 8.44 cents. We can still see we have a lot more to go. Alternatively, if our trend started here and we are making a motive wave, we would only expect a diagonal, since this was a 3-wave move back here, most likely. And how that would look is contracting trend lines here, 3-wave patterns, and eventually that would make a large 1 and 2, and we'd end up making lower prices and not make any ground within the next year or two before that setup is ready for a 3rd wave. So this is my bias, that all our counts start from here, and we started our launch on FLR mid-correction on the larger cycle. Again, that's what this looks like idealized. So we'll go to the smaller time frames and discuss where I have us going from here. So this is my primary count. This one changed based on the price action the last week since the last update. This is my primary count, and that is that we made a diagonal since the low as a wave 1 and 2, 3, 4, 5. Series of 3-wave patterns. We did not overlap wave 1 with wave 4, which makes it harder to recognize in real time. Usually we look for overlap, but it is not a rule anymore. It is a guideline. It does not have to overlap. One thing I like about this is it's taken from our fib extensions from these pivots. We actually reached a standard impulse extension targets, the 1.618 for our 3rd and our 5th right in our zone there. So I prefer this count going forward. Also, the length of this wave, if it was part of this wave here, a little extended and we haven't reached target. In my original count, which was like this, that we were in a 4th wave. So my view is we have bottomed in our wave 2, and I will be trading based on this until this fails. So off of our wave 1 and 2, have a 5-wave move to the upside. You can see our wave 1, 2, 3, 4th wave triangle 5. After that, we got a WXY combination. We had a flat ABC, X, and a zigzag ABC. So have our wave 2 low at that level for trading purposes now. That's where your stop should be now if you're trading this count. Now off this low, we're just continuing to trend to the upside. We have potentially wave 1, 2, 3, triangle 4, 5 to the upside, either complete or close to complete, and looking to just nest and take off to the upside if this count is accurate. It's important to note that if this count plays out, I need a 3rd wave to start moving very soon, because our expectation is these are a series of nested 1-2s, and we're looking for that big move. So we need the fastest price movement in a short amount of time, most volume, etc. I don't hang on to account if it's not reacting the way I expect, right? So I am in this right now. I leveraged up on this break of this X wave, and all stops are at this level at the Y wave right here. So all stops should be in this scenario, not financial advice. You do what you want, but all my stops will be no lower than 2.092 cents. That is my last draw before this becomes invalidated. Now, further out targets, I took the extension targets here of our first wave 1 off wave 2 right here in green. We're looking for this third wave to come to around 3.017 cents. That's that 1.618 extension target you see right there. So looking for a pattern like this. Come up to our 1.618, come back for our fourth wave, go for our fifth, which is this zone right here at 3.2 and 3.407. Then another move to the downside. Then our real third of the third gets going. So when we're targeting the wave 1 of 1 lesser degree, so this is our 1 and 2, I usually look between the 618 and the 1-to-1 and see where our targets line up on the smaller time frames for that. So this would be our wave 1 and 2, and eventually our wave 3, 4, 5. So our wave 3 target in white, based off this largest degree you see, is up there at 7.121 cents. Eventually our fifth wave targets are up between 9.6 and 11 cents, somewhere around 10 cents. So this is the overall shape I am looking for to the upside in a 5-wave move, which should pan out if this is labeled correctly right into the new year, right? So we'll see if we follow suit here. Everything is working as expected for now. Okay, so that is the path we're looking for. Now, alternative counts. Alternative counts is if we're still within a larger wave 2 and our bottom is not in, right here. There is a chance this is a B wave within a flat. This pattern I showed you earlier, that flat, the 3-wave, 5-wave move down. So if we come up to this zone, these measurements, the 1.236 and the 382 you see, right here, if we come up to this zone and reject in a 3-wave move, which is just an ABC, then you need to be on guard for that move. This is what we tend to make in alt season, is running flats rather than zigzags. So if this isn't the end of the correction, this would be my next entry if it failed, right down here. So that's my plan B if it doesn't work out. And if we just come down from here, obviously we're mid-correction and we're making a combination pattern. But that is not my viewpoint and not worth talking about unless I fail at this last pivot I discussed with you. So flare looks good for the upside. Just want to see some follow here through here to keep this, hit this third wave target in green and eventually make our smaller wave 1 and 2 before the real third wave gets moving. So flare is looking good as long as labeled correctly, and our trend of the start of our trend is actually at this low at 1.2 cents. The future is bright for flare. And I would invite you to go back and watch my flare videos if you're new. I was sounding the alarms all the way down here, saying to avoid this until we actually hit a bottom. So if you want regular updates on flare, I do have a Discord, private Discord in here, and I cover flare 4 to 5 times a week in the member video. As the updates are needed, I make a member video 4 to 5 days a week, updating all the assets, updating stops, etc., and any advice I might have. I also offer setups, trade setups. Here's one from today's member video. I can't tell you the ticker or the prices because that would be unfair to the members. This is the trade setup we're looking for immediately. This was just posted today. Have a nice 1-2-1-2 potential. We have 5 to 10 of these on the go right now with these sort of bottoming patterns. As you know, this last low, the bottoming patterns have been pretty ugly. So I went through all my 300 list on Blowfin looking for the best bottoming patterns I could find. And I dumbed that down to a list of around 20 and then took the best of those. So if you want to check out the Discord, that's in the link in the description. You can also see in the top left of the screen the Blowfin exclusive. That is an exclusive discount for members only, where if you sign up through the Discord link, you get a 20% rebate for life on your trading fees for life, whether you quit the membership or not, as long as you sign up through that link. You also get a 10% cashback bonus. You can check the details on the card there you see or in the link in the description. As well as if you don't want to join the membership, you just want to use Blowfin, there's a link in the description for YouTube, which gives you 5% rebate for life plus the 10% cashback. All right, guys, if you want to check out those trade setups in the Discord, feel free. This one might pass us by. And I will see you guys on the next one.